This week, who needs cranes to offload containers from lorries? We go it alone, and the scavenging, scrap hoarding king lives up to title and throne. Got a yard full of stone, machines breakdown prone, and to complicate matters further, switch to walkie-talkie, and we're done with the phone. And lately, you can tell by my tone, on my face it's shown, giving mixed signals like a traffic light, staying positive, and still having a moan. But I feel like we've turned a corner. I feel it in my bones. And like the major championships, we're singing, it's coming home, it's coming home, it's coming, the 586 is coming home. I'm Daniel's Ashville Weekly, episode 203. It's Monday morning, and we're in the yard. You saw on Saturday of last week, Ben loaded up a machine. He has already dropped at the site, and he is back to collect a dumper and a 3-ton digger, which are going out on hire to one of our clients. He's at it again on the weighbridge. We are preparing for the traffic light system, which is going to be fitted either tomorrow or Wednesday. But on top of these blocks, we need to remove the interlocking sections. He's going to clear the top off all of these to prepare us for tomorrow. On Saturday of last week, you saw my fondling around with all the steel stillages and trying to sort out all the scaffold into separate stillages. Well, we got the steel stillage storage moved over here, but this morning we got some sorting out to still do. We're gonna take scaffold bits out of some of the stillages, put them into other ones so we can have some new empty ones. We're gonna take all of the sheeting, put all of the sheeting onto my makeshift stillage with the scaffold board at the bottom, put a ratchet strap on it so we can move it. And after this, we then should be able to transport our scaffold around the yard without handballing it by the forklift moving the stillages around. And then we're gonna start taking the steel that we had everywhere and we're gonna start putting them onto the shelves in this area. We're gonna put the heavy steel at the bottom and try to separate the angle, the flat bar, the box, and throw away some stuff which we're not gonna use in the future. Over the weekend, I was approached by a gentleman who suggested gifting us some hydraulic desks where you can adjust the height. So sometimes you can sit to work and sometimes you can stand. I don't want one personally because I stand up enough in the yard.
It's very peaceful down here.
I went up to the Transport and Operations office and the team said a few of them would like one. Terry said he would not. I'm gonna get a couple of these desks for the people that do wanna have them to run a little trail. They said that they'll feel a lot more active if they're standing up. Speaking of active, Luke has gone out with our driver Maddie on a grab job. This is a basement project where the excavated material is in a skip. The public footpath is blocked momentarily for safety, and a member of the team from the construction site monitors. If a member of the public were to need to get past, the work would stop, they would be escorted through safely, and then the work would continue. Time now is 11:06 a.m. and the same gentleman who suggested motorized desks sent me a link to this. You saw us in the past with one of the tyre fitters who previously worked for us, who's now moved on. He had a makeshift magnet to go around the yard and pick up loads of nails. Well, I didn't know that you could actually buy one which was already made to work in exactly the same way. So of course I've purchased it already and I bought the largest version of it. which I'm very happy with. Our Volvo lorry, which we took out of Volvo last week, used it for the week and then put it back in on Saturday, is up for test today. Hopefully it passes MOT, which it should. We'll get that lorry back at the end of the day. And my man Welder Faber in the north of the country, he's now back in front of the Liebherr 586 loading shovel. And it seems to be working. He's now going to test it, drive it round for a bit. He can't put it under load because the bucket is still in our yard. Baz has been around machines his entire life. He's extremely experienced, so he's going to use it and see how he feels. If he's happy with it, I've already arranged for Fox to head down there and collect it on Thursday and bring us our 586 back. Let's see how Bazza gets on.
With the shovel that you've all been waiting for. Now then, the machine has been calibrated. Everything's running sweet, A-OK. It has been run for 4 hours. I'm going to have a little ride in it myself. But the machine itself has had a full rebuild now. The gearbox has been fully rebuilt with clutch packs. The hydrostack's been rebuilt, new main bearings. Everything that you could do to it has been done. So it's like a new machine. Daniel, it's coming home, bro. It's coming home.
It's a lot of sorting to do, but it is most definitely necessary. I've asked the lads to put the heaviest bits on all the bottom shelves. A couple of reasons. One, because you haven't got to lift it higher and it's heavy. And two, if all the weight is at the bottom, if by some accident the loading shovel hits the stillage won't fall onto the fence and then on out to the main line of the railway track. So the more heavy steel we've got at the bottom, the more we decrease the chances of that ever happening. You saw Ben this morning load up 2 machines. He's going to drop them off and then he's going to go to another site on the other side of London and collect another one which is coming off higher.
Cheers, buddy, thank you. Cheers, buddy.
It's Tuesday morning, I'm not in the yard. I'm at the refurbishment project. Echo! We're all but finished in this area. Underfloor heating and self-leveling compound is in. We have a windowsill to go here. On the ground floor, we have some 25mm moisture resistant MDF, what we're gonna make all the windowsills out of. Storage area is more or less complete, but you'll notice that we don't have the doors in. Now we can't put those doors in because they're specialist soundproof doors which open like this and like this, but we need to order them in the exact size. Client hasn't let us know the floor covering that they're gonna have in this area, and we wanna get those doors 100%. What's the point in building a completely soundproof area if the doors are then gonna let the sound out? We're not gonna put any base coats on any of the walls in here just yet, because the client needs to let us know exactly the wall covering or the wall color, but it's definitely not going to be a painted white finish because of what this room is going to be used for. The great thing about this loft area, because of all the insulating work, which we did as part of building regs, but we went above and beyond, plus all of the soundproofing works, when it was like 35 degrees outside, the loft was still as cold as ice. And you'll know, being in houses in a loft area, heat rises, and the loft is the part which the sun would hit. Not here. It was nice and cool. And there is air conditioning to drop the temperature that bit lower. So all the insulation means that the thermal efficiency of the house and the energy rating is fantastic. So in the summer, it's cooler, and in the winter, it's warmer. Staircase is mid-fabrication. Bedrooms 2 and 3 are ready. We've done as much work as we can in there at the moment. Off to the master is more or less complete until we get more direction with the decor. These tiles are for the master bathroom. We've done the majority of the work. We're now going to start putting the tiles on the wall, and the wardrobe is also ready. The factory currently are putting together this lovely glass-fronted wardrobe, and these also are tiles which are going in this master bathroom. On the ground floor with dudek and bartouche. The electrics are finished and we are closing up the area. Have a look at the render. You'll see this ceiling has different levels. So we have already built one of the levels. We're going to plaster this, and then we're going to build the areas around it. So this ceiling should be closed up within the next 2 weeks, but we're going to have to stop around the door areas where we're working and not plaster, because the actual finish of the doors, which I showed you weeks back, the black finish has not been 100% approved. So we're just getting on in all the areas and doing as much as we possibly can. Right, Bartush? What I told you about in the main ground floor area, plastering the bit in the middle and then building around, you can see that in full effect here. If we do it like this, we can plaster it properly and we can get right down to the nitty gritty and the corners to achieve a great finish. Same again in here. We continue with the water cylinders and boiler. In about 2 weeks, this area will be all connected up. There are a number of conversations at the moment regarding the actual decor and the pool house. So we're still waiting for approval. We can't do the work in the back garden until we have the answers on the pool house, because the foundations of the pool and the extension of the existing pool house will tie in with the floor space of the outdoor entertaining area. So I don't quite know what's going on there, but we have plenty that we can do. That's it for the refurbishment project today. I'm heading back to the yards. Got a problem with the 926, but this one is not a biggie. There's a hose that needs to be replaced, but it's in a very awkward place and it runs all the way up the arm, and you have to clip it down and screw it in and then feed it underneath. But it was a small leak, but very annoying because there was oil dripping the entire time. So we've taken it off and we are replacing now.
We've done 1, 2, 3, 4. Literally, so 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. To push each one, demand. Push that, I go straight green.
So the best way to test these things is test them in a real life situation. So I've turned up at this place they reckon is an aggregates yard, and I'm trying to get on the weighbridge to load, and I have a red light. Let's see what happens. Come on, mate, work it out. Trying to get loaded. So I'm on the weighbridge. Oh, Simon's got me weight. Look, there we go, look at that. All right, time to get off the weighbridge. So I've been loaded. Green light. Simon's got his new keyboard there. You know the trouble with Simon, and they've always said it, he gives mixed signals. Running with the dad jokes today, boy. Press that green. Press the green, right? Simon's pressing green, I've got to get off the weighbridge. And we have a green light. Nice. We've had radios for a little while, but we haven't used them properly. My good friend Sam, that you saw with me in the skip boat, click here to watch a video where I nearly went to France in the skip boat. If it wasn't for Brexit, the Navy wouldn't have called the harbour master and said,
tell Daniel, don't even think about it.
Anyway, I would have gone to France, but this is Sam's company. They supplied the radios on the Yanni Mize Grand Tour as well. We haven't used them as of yet, and we're going to. So we've put them all on charge. But what kept happening is nobody knew what happened to them, Dan. So Simon, the accountant, as you can see how organised he is. Every day, when Simon opens the weighbridge at 7 a.m, the lads will come here and they will get their walkie-talkies. They'll use them for the day in the yard, and at the end of the day, the battery lasts the entire day. They'll have to report back to Simon, put them on charge. Everyone's will have their name on it here. They'll also have a sticker on it. So if somebody doesn't bring back their walkie-talkie, we're going to know exactly who it is, and they're going to need to replace it. We're using mobile phones at the moment, but we feel that the walkie-talkies will be a lot easier, and really and truly, it's the right thing to do, isn't it, Si?
It is.
So we're going to start using these, and the procedures are slowly going into place in this new yard.
You're my brother, you look older than me, because you only move around the corner, and you are stressed as a 9-bob note.
Michael, my brother, it's hard work in here. I'm trying to move yards. Set up train tracks, we're not busy. It is tough out there.
And everybody's undercutting you.
You undercutting me, are you?
It's stressing you. I can see you all getting loads of grey hairs. Your beard has gone grey.
No, it hasn't.
Yes, it has. I know you're dying it, and you were in the barbers the other day. We brushed it, didn't we, with that? Just for men.
Did you call me to tell me anything worthwhile, just to coat me?
No, I just wanted to let you know that we've got plenty of telehandlers in stock if you need them to lift your wallet into the back of your car, your hairdresser's car.
So instead of calling me trying to help me out with something, you're calling me trying to offload stuff onto me and sell me gear. You've been very helpful, Michael. I appreciate that.
What happened to Ashville episode 199? I didn't hear you put my little bit in.
What little bit?
Me going, Ashville, I can't remember what I said.
Well, Michael, you didn't watch it till the end because it was right at the end of the video, my friend, so you turned off. Hi, I'm Michael, and it's Ashville Weekly episode 199.
This is Michael, this is Ashville Weekly 199. I think. Not sure.
Yeah, you've only got 2 followers, and I'm one of them. The Mayo chimney sweep, he watches you every Sunday. It's only me and him that watch you. I believe you are hiring forklifts at the minute.
But no, you're not calling me just to sell me stuff. I ain't having that. Like, you can call me to see how I am. Don't call me and try to offload your stock on me.
No, I don't care how you are. I'm more worried about myself.
Do you know what, Michael? At least you're honest. You are clearly sat in your office with nothing to do.
I just offloaded 3 trains, so I've got nothing. I'm just finished there now. So we're sitting here with a yard full of stock, and we just thought we could interest you, and because seeing your yard is broke down at the minute, would you like to come buy some stock off our group?
See you later, Michael.
Take care. Cool.
Bye. That's what I need. At the end of a long day, Mr. Michael O'Donovan calling me and giving me jip. It's Wednesday morning. I'm in the yard. The sun is shining and it's not raining. And today I am on the right side of the concrete. So I am thankful. We gave a proposed start date for the Central London Penthouse project after my meeting yesterday with the team on site. I'm waiting for the client to get back to me. It's week commencing 4th of November. We're just waiting for the client to let us know if that falls within their plans. And back onto the Weybridge saga, which is not over as of yet. As with all things with Daniel, we just keep going and going and going and going and going. There was one problem which we still saw. The traffic lights give everyone the information. However, when they drive onto the bridge, when they go past Simon's window, they need to say the material which they want to load. However, if they've got a glass London door, they're not going to be able to wind the window down and people are going to be trying to get out here. So, it came to me in a burst of inspiration and crying that more work was required. We're going to use the remaining scaffold, which you've seen us working with, putting in stillages. We're going to drop it here. The team from Stella are going to be back. We are going to put a platform here with my black plastic boards, which are non-slip, with a U-shaped handrail. And then over this surface, Simon has found a paint which we can use on the top of it, which is going to make it non-slip. So a driver will stop when they see the red traffic light, and if they need to get out, they'll walk along this platform here and they'll be able to walk and go and speak to Simon. And therefore he can give them one of the A4 laminated sheets which says type 1 or sand or gravel, which the driver can then put on their dashboard so the shovel driver can actually see what material they want loading, and then Simon can jump on the radio that I showed you yesterday and let them know how many tons they require. Stella Scaffolding are booked in for Tuesday and Wednesday of next week. And we're not finished with scaffold. Over here, above the offices, I want to create a very small shelter so when you're standing on the landing or fondling with your keys in the door, you have some shelter from the rain and the elements. Especially if you've got paperwork in your hand. It's just something to give you a little bit more time and not panicking while you're getting absolutely drenched, because sooner or later, the weather is going to turn. So it's a race against time to try to work. So it's a race against time to try and make hay while the sun shines. Now I know why they made up that saying. The time now is 9:33 a.m. I have a meeting with SSE, the electrical provider, at 10 a.m. So let's hope that one goes well. I'll update you later. Oh, before I go, in the old yard over by the stopper where we built up rubber along the track so you could drive over it. Some of the lads are up there with Ben and they're pulling out all the steel, they're cleaning the area, they're moving all the bulk bags which are there. We're taking bits to storage, and the steel there, we're bringing it to the steel stillage area here so we can continue to sort what we're keeping and what we're throwing away. We weren't told anything, mate.
Yeah, no, I get it. Basically, the client has asked that we lock it so that no one can go through the road, because obviously they're repairing the road.
council closed the road to do resurfacing. We weren't told, so we could plan around it, because, you know, we could send all the lorries out in the morning and do the work, which means the lorries don't need to come back to the yard. You know, where you go to a different area and you load material and tip locally, or you load in a quarry locally and then tip on site. But no one told us, and now they've closed the road and the lorries are trapped and the residents can't get to their houses. Everybody's going absolutely mad. We should call the council and have a word with the council and see if this work can be done at night, because people can't get to their homes and businesses can't operate, which I understand is necessary to resurface the road, but you have to give people warning, and we haven't received any at all. We're in the middle of concrete pours, so the concrete pours have started, and the lorries are waiting to be like, mate, that's gonna go like horribly wrong.
It looks like probably that is going to be the feed in, yeah, and that's the circuit breaker that side with the cable going away, and that probably goes down to a pot end.
Meeting with SSE went really well. The engineer is allowed in this space, we are not, so I was taking a look from the outside. So it turns out this cable down here, that is the incoming, and the cable on the outside, that is what feeds this depot. Some of these units work on oil, this one works on gas, and year of manufacturer is 2012. So apparently it's quite a decent unit that doesn't need to be upgraded. He got out his little radar because he was worried that the cable that you can see over there was running underneath here. There is absolutely no sign of it. He now needs to go to a substation elsewhere, what feeds this, to have a look at it. But at the moment, it's thumbs up. It's looking really good, and it's not as much work as SSE had originally thought it would be. So I guess they just wanted to cover themselves and manage expectation. Everything on this side is going to be our work, and we need to get our gear in. And they say we just need to have our duct running to the boundary, and they will excavate in here, and this will be a new cable. This cable will be removed and a new cable will run to the boundary here, and all our gear will sit here. Very good, very positive. And the road has now been reopened, and the council have switched the work round, and the work will now take place on evenings. So our lorries are working again, and we have a plan to move forward with the electric. Nice. So we just managed to tow our beloved forklift down to near the workshop area. We didn't want to put it in the way because we still got plenty of steel to take down there. And I turned around, and there the council were. Council enforcement, to be exact. In all fairness, they were really cool, but they have been called and they're just doing their job, because people have called them and said that there's an issue with our site. They had a look around, they took some pictures, I explained all, and they want me to share plans with them, which I haven't shared with you guys yet, of the drainage systems and how we're going to deal with rainwater and the build-ups of concrete and drains and the soakaways and everything else to do with the site, and how long I intend on keeping up our scaffold city, etc. It went okay, but it's not the point. Like, why are people calling the council? Like, come on, man, like, it's relentless. One week call someone, another week call someone else. You're bringing them here. They could be doing other things instead of coming in here and trying to catch us out for what? What are they going to catch us out doing? Like, it's all on show for the whole world to see. And people are forwarding the council these videos. I mean, like, it's just... Thursday morning, and we're in the yard. And the company who use us for plant hire have decided to come in themselves and collect an excavator. Machine's loaded up. It's about to head out. I'm gonna go in the yard and take a look around. And in the north of the country, Bazza is about to load our 586 loading shovel so it can come home and get to work in the yard.
Right on time.
Work in progress, work in progress, work in progress. And experience is the master. Yesterday, one of the lorries came up to the bridge and Simon couldn't see him and he was parked over there because the light was red. So we've now learned our lesson. So the traffic light facing lorries coming onto the weighbridge from inside the yard, Simon has set it to remain green in case the lorries here aren't in his line of sight and all the rest are red. As you can see here, we can take his weight and then he can leave. We've got another test now. It was raining earlier, as you can see. Stomp, 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 like a small child in Wellingtons in a puddle. Here we are, in the workshop area. Let's see, as my townie calls it.
The swimming pool.
Now, I'm not saying that this is a submarine, that we can go 100 meters deep and no water will enter the vessel. What I'm saying is that it stopped the rain coming in, the small shower we had, and the area is still dry. The proof is in the pudding. We'll see when we have a much larger down shower, but at the moment, over here, it is nice and dry. Let's go and have a look at the steel stillage. Well, that's not going to work, is it? But the important thing is, nothing is pushing against the fence that divides us from the main network. I'm going to go around the other way. We keep bringing the steel over, and we keep finding space for it. There is a lot of steel on these shelves, and it is not going to be easy to pull one out which has other bits of steel on top of it. But at the same time, we need to get it out of the old yard, and we can't leave the steel scattered all over the floor. When you don't have it organized into separate shelves or you can't see it, what you tend to do is think you don't have it and go and buy it when you've got it like stuck under a bundle of RSJs or flat bar. But it is going extremely well. Ben has headed into town. If you remember weeks back, I went to a site and there are a couple of containers with loads of fittings in them. Ben went to site with the flatbed. He dropped it. He did a tip and return on the 20-yard bin they had there. He's back. And then he's going to put on the flatbed and they're going to load him with the container, which I am told is 7 tons. Some more musical chairs. When Stella Scaffolding are in next week, I would like them to, if it's possible, I don't know if it's possible, to do a slight alteration in this area. We have this for tipping waste oil once it comes out of the lorries. Now, I want to take it out the workshop because it's taking up space, and I would like to tuck it underneath here because eventually we're going to have jersey barriers around this to protect the legs from the vehicles. However, this and this are in the way. Without those, I can slot it into this point. So I'm going to ask the lads if they can possibly alter this, move it back, put other supports in, which will take the place of these. That will be fantastic use of space, and then possibly I can try to squeeze other bits in around the stairs so we can try to use every single square inch of space in this yard. Hey, thousands of bolts. We can always do with more bolts, Ben. Look at that. Grease guns. Batteries and battery chargers. Spill pads. So what we'll do, we'll take out, we'll take these masks now, so we can use them. Can you get them spill pads, please? Because we'll put them in the containers. What? Water guns? These are the guns that we use on the concrete lorries at the back when we're washing out. Ben took everything, he stopped outside his house and took everything got out of it already. First aid bandages, yeah, we'll take all that, Si. Retractable strap barrier. Ooh. Si, this is for if we start a nightclub and you're doing the VIP, you pull your end. Hey! Wait, this is great. What, black and yellow as well? Nice, Brumheads. This is a great episode of Ashville Antiques. More filters for the masks. I need to make sure that we can get into the doors, but I can't have everything in here tipped, so we might take a load of stuff and put it on the floor. We've just got to take the bolts out, because the bolts are what's going to fall. We'll go and get the 926, we'll lift it off, we'll spin it and drop it here, then you can go back and get the other one, and when you get back, we'll look at the two of them. I need the doors facing this way. Ben, that's what we'll do. We'll lift it, you drive off. That's the same technique that we applied in the big move. Click here to watch a 2-hour video where we showed intricate detail when we moved from that yard to this yard using a 150-ton, 1.8 million pound crane and a 75-ton, 1.2 million pound crane. Let's go up. Hold on. Wait, hold on. Wait. Up slowly. So we're getting 3 sets of chains and putting them together so we can get this container off. One set is normally on Ben's lorry. One set is around the yard, but it's the only way we can get it off because we can't get the spread on it. Put the strain on the main arm, yeah? Okay. Yeah, move closer. There we go, this way. Spin, spin, keep spinning, keep spinning. Spin it, spin it, spin it. Yeah, okay, you can put it down. Stop. You saw about, it must be a year ago because it's up for renewal, I was talking about our fleet insurance and agreeing to a 3-year deal with the insurer which meant that year on year, they couldn't raise our insurance over a certain amount. However, if our claims were over a certain amount, there was a tier system that they could increase it by. And of course, here we are 12 months later, and the increase is the maximum of 35%. So our insurance has gone up by 35%. Now, I won't say we had a terrible year of claims. However, they do this thing where they call it a claims reserve. So if you touch something on the road, you touch a car, someone touches the lorry, somebody could say there's a reserve of 20 grand. And they're basing our claims on a reserve which isn't paid out yet, and that enables them to say that we have passed the threshold and our insurance has been increased by the maximum it possibly can, and we're tied in. Of course we're tied in. So that's not ideal, but you live and you learn. I tried to manage the claims with the team as best we can. You saw a while ago, I put together the documentation of what drivers should do in the unfortunate case of an accident, so we can try to mitigate any outstanding, but it hasn't worked. No. And Ben has gone back out, and he's going to collect that second container, which in fact is heavier than this one, so might be a little bit of a struggle getting it off with the machine. So having a look through this, we got some bolts. Stay there, David, don't worry. Everyone knows who David is. Click here to watch a video where we look at what David does on a day-to-day basis. The lads at the Refurbishment Project, they can use so much of this stuff. They're gonna rummage through and take what they need and take it directly to the job. I don't even know what some of this is, but I know it ain't cheap. Anything that we're not taking out, we're gonna take off the top level and put on the floor, because Ben is gonna take it round to the storage yard and he's gonna drop the container off, but he's gonna have to use a bit of techers because the crane isn't powerful enough. But Ben knows how to get this off the flatbed without having a crane. But not when everything's in it, swooshing around. Stack them. There you go. You see what happens when Ashville get hold of a container and we strip it in 1 hour flat. In that time, Ben has gone down to site and brought back the other one, so now we need to close this up and have a look at that one. Look at that. A door in a door. Oh no. Oh no. We've got loads of threaded bar. We've got a whole wall of storage of nuts and bolts. We just need to, all right, some people are gonna have to come up with it and help me push this. Hold on. Hold on. What we need to do, all right, this one is not going to be so simple. So we need to put the other one on Ben and take this one off and leave this one here for us to sort out, yeah? We're going to have to do that, okay? The other one was a struggle. That's heavy. Listen, I bet there's going to be a big old mighty clang. We've touched the floor. Gently, slowly does it. Nice and controlled. I thought I was going to hit clatter, bang, smash, wallop, like one of the old Batmans. That's what you call nice and steady. What, you're gonna try and drop it?
Yeah.
Right, you're actually gonna try and drop, okay, wow. Hey, when I told Ben to move it over here, I meant move it over and leave the flatbed so we can use the digger and take it off. Ben's looking to use Tekkers on my new concrete and drop it off without. So we'll,
This before you loop.
so we'll step back. It should slide. Oh, it's moved. It moved that time. Nope. Yeah, that moved. That moved. Yeah, you're off. Your back's off. Gently, gently, gently. Yeah, gently. Okay, the rest of my boards are gone. Let's keep going. Keep going. Stop! Oh. All right. We were gonna replace these anyway. You're gonna pick that up and put it on Ben. Yeah. When Ben goes, we're gonna pick this up a little bit, spin it round, and move it to where the white one is, yeah.
It tracks that way, George, so when you pick it up, just track it.
Back to you. Up you go. Track backwards, slowly. Tell me when he passes it. We're gonna go towards you first. Nice and controlled. Okay, let's start to spin it. Let's go here. Keep spinning. A bit higher. All right, George. No, wait. This way. Nice and steady. Who knows if this will even lift. Okay, hold on. Pull it towards you. Come and swap with me, Budgie. You come here. More. Put it down. Leave it. That's it. That was a challenge. But we moved it. Nice. Very heavy, but nice. We shifted it. It's good practice as soon as you finish with the chains to put them back in the stillage. Otherwise, I'm going to find them in the ground getting tracked over tomorrow. Firstly, we took the entrance of the bagging plant. We took the gate off the post and hinge, put the gate against the bank, and then we took the post and put it on the floor and wedged it against it, so if it wants to slide down, it can't, it's gonna get blocked. We put that separate from all the rest because we're gonna reuse that when we build up this area. But before we build up this area, Baratouche needs to come back to the yard, and we're gonna have a fuse board over here to power this entire area. The silo is the only thing that has power at the moment. When we put a new distribution board here, we're going to power the bagging plant, the lights, which are going to be on the front of the scaffold, the lights which are going to be in the workshop, the lights inside the containers, the power sockets inside the containers, the wheel wash and the fuel are all going to be powered from this point, but we haven't got that far as of yet. We're doing what we can. The time now is 4:58 p.m. and any minute I think one of Foxy's lorries is going to turn up with our loading shovel and an LH60 bucket, and they're very busy up in the north of the country, so one of the machines we've got down here on Crosshire, they're going to load that and take that back with them. We're going to leave this container for today. We're focusing on getting the other bits and getting them out of the rain, because the skies of London look rather grey, even though the rain has held off for the last few hours. So we're back to the steel, taking it from the old yard, moving it over, and I can see that Ben is back at the yard and he is going to load a machine for the morning. The moment of truth. Hey! Watch your head. Oh. Oh. Yeah? All right. I'm blocking the road, yeah? You two, come with me. Well, we can't even go that way. Loads of room. Loads of room. And all at the same time we have a fuel delivery. Bit more.
Hold on. Up.
All right, stop. George is nice and steady. Yep, just get it off the lorry. Slew, get it off the lorry. Not too much. Okay, a little bit. Okay, yeah. Yeah. Okay, down. Okay. move this tomorrow morning. Oh! Oh! The time now is 6:02 p.m. Foxy's gone. Shovel looks like it's working, but we're going to have to test it properly, try and put the bucket on it tomorrow. We have a plan for the morning with the LH60 bucket to move it into a corner of the new yard. Still got a fuel delivery here. This gentleman's just finishing off and everybody's in a bit of a rush now because the resurfacing works on the main road is going to start any minute, and we want to try and get these lorries out so these fellas can get home. This has been an extremely productive day. But guess what? None of what we've done today earns any revenue whatsoever. None of it. None of what I've done. It's helped set the yard up. It's helped put us in a better position. It means we're a millimeter closer to our goals, but it didn't generate 1 penny of revenue. But if I didn't do it, what would it cost us? That is the question.
Yeah, good mate, you?
First two, I think, mate.
That was Ben dropping off the machine, which he loaded up yesterday. The fuel train is on the way down to Heathrow as we speak. They have 2 of these a day, 7 days a week. We have an engineer coming to look at all the cranes on all the grab lorries and on the hook loader on Tuesday. So we've just asked the drivers to each make a bit of a list of any issues which they had with it, any of the controls which are slightly sticky, any time when the crane is screaming out with sensors when it really shouldn't be, just anything at all which is a bit of a problem. So when he is doing the inspection to provide us with the certification, then he can try to order some parts and repair or do some slight adjustments. Now we're about to put the bucket back on the 586 and try and get it up to working temperature. Well, that didn't last very long. Not a problem with the gearbox, problem with the AdBlue. It's believed to be an AdBlue injector, maybe because the machine's been sat around for so long, not doing any work, it hasn't managed to burn hot enough and it's crystallized. Now when you're having a look at the injector, you can't see it's been crystallized around it, so maybe it's something internal. Had a plug in and tried to do a forced regeneration, which quit. It didn't work, so the only thing to do would probably be to put a new injector on it, run it for a few hours, see if it works, see what else comes up on the dashboard, and take it from there. Not having a lot of luck with machines, are we? All right, we're having a rummage around. We have a plan. Simon wanted to throw away some of my kit, didn't you, Si?
I did.
Simon reckoned he was going to put all this in the scrap. Absolutely not. I'm going to tell my townie as well that Simon wanted to do that. We're going to pull everything out which is all over the floor. Then we're going to pull out all of this racking system. We're going to fix the racking system back together. We're going to put it in and we're going to bolt it to the wall so it's not going to fall over. And all of the loose nuts and bolts, these will all come in handy. I'm not throwing away anything, even if Simon wants to. Once we've sorted this out and everything is back, we're going to take our time. We're going to divide these up with different shelving, different storage, and we'll go through these bins here and we'll put everything back in its place. Now, once we've done that, I don't think we're going to be able to lift this again. So we may, when we pull out some of the stuff here, try and find a home for this in here. I'm not sure that this container is going to be able to go to the storage. And I doubt that Simon would want it to go to the storage as well with all the work that Simon is about to do in here. The company who collected a few days ago have completed their project and are dropping the machine back to us now. The time is 5:34, Friday evening of a bank holiday weekend. The 926 has broken down again. There was a warning on the dash about fuel. So we turned it off, but the Liebherr engineer was here because he was looking over another bit of kit. And when we went back to get in the 926, we couldn't turn it on, so we couldn't see the fault with the fuel. Tested the batteries, one was putting out 10 volts, one was putting out 12 volts, and that 926 really cranks, like it really draws on those batteries. So now, in order to try and diagnose the fault, Liebherr don't make batteries, but they've agreed to send an engineer here tomorrow. I have to climb up on the heap, measure the batteries. I believe I have some batteries that will work. I have to be in the yard at 7 a.m. tomorrow for a meeting, but I have to go and find or get hold of these batteries somehow on a Friday of a bank holiday, or come here for the meeting in the morning and then go and get the batteries and bring them back, and then hopefully I get here before the Liebherr engineer is standing here doing nothing. And then that's only to turn it on. Then he's got to diagnose the problem, and he may not have the parts for it. And I'm meant to be creating this car park at the front so we can start to park in this yard from Tuesday of next week. But I'm sure the Liebherr engineer won't have nothing to do, because we fit the new injector on the 586 and the 586 is leaking fuel. How are we doing? You got some good news? Well, I haven't got any good news off anyone, mate, so I hope it's you. Tell me.
I have a driver in Watford.
Yes?
Who is willing to take the battery home.
Yes?
And I am willing to go pick it up tonight. I can either meet you somewhere tonight and give it to you, or I could drop it off first thing morning about 8 o'clock.
I will meet you somewhere, mate. I will meet you somewhere to be safe and get those batteries off you. That will save my life. I'm going to quickly go and measure to make sure it fits in. If it does, I'll call you straight back, mate. I'll meet you tonight. Wherever you're going to go, I'll work around you to get them batteries.
No worries, mate. I will need payment for these, though.
Well, you want to get paid as well, yeah? Jesus. I'll grab the tape measure and call you back in a sec.
All right, cheers, mate.
All right,
bye-bye.
thanks, mate. Bye. I may have a battery, which solves one of my problems. And the Liebherr engineer, as I was saying, if he does get here earlier than I have the battery, he won't be bored. Do you know why? Because the 586 is broken down. We changed the injector and it managed to do a regen, started running it, and apparently something with the injectors, they need to be all resealed because it's pressurizing, and then fuel is cut. I don't know, this is so hard, man. You know, if you think that you'll apply a certain amount of pressure, you think that if you do that, you can see the end. And every time you think you can see the end, it's like you've got no hand-to-eye coordination, and you go to pick up the football like a toddler and your foot kicks it, and you just keep chasing it round. And every time you do these things, it's just so expensive, and you just want things to just go your way. And it's not busy out there, and well, historically it's not busy in August, but it's especially not busy. And we've got drivers, we've got people away on holiday. It is hard, man. Let me go and get this tape measure, because this battery ain't gonna measure itself. All right, so here are our dimensions. I'm gonna measure from here. Okay, that should work. 513 is just under, but we're not worried about millimeters. That's 189, yeah, that works. Let's check this depth. This one's just under 200, and it says that's 223. I think we've got the space to play with, man. It's as good as I'm gonna get. Hopefully with the adjustments that can be made with these clamps, it should fit here. That kind gentleman who was on the phone, I'm gonna call him now and ask him to ask the driver at the other depot to put it on his van to meet this gentleman, so this gentleman will meet me. And I just had a call, and my 7 o'clock in the yard is now 6:30 in the yard. So we're finding a way. Finding a way. Here we go. I have the batteries. 1, 2, ready for the morning. The time is 8:10 p.m. It's been a long day, which is not over. Now I'm gonna watch a video and make some notes, do a couple of emails, and ensure that I am here at 6:30 a.m. Saturday, we're in the yard, bright and early. I take it back. It's early, but it's not bright, it's raining. But when has that ever stopped us? We're just digging out the area on the side of the weighbridge where the scaffold is going to be put on Tuesday morning. We want to do a lot of bits and pieces over the bank holiday weekend to ensure that we can hit the ground running on Tuesday when everyone else is back in. And the batteries are underneath the 926, ready to be changed over when the Liebherr engineer gets here. Just gonna spread it over here where the vehicles pass. There's no point in moving it anywhere else because we're gonna be building up the ground here repeatedly over the next couple of months. That'll do. It's good enough. Nice and flat, brought the level down. And because we spent all the time putting everything into stillages, when the lads let us know what they want, forklift will just pick up the gear here, bring it over there. When we're done, we'll repack it, and whatever's not used goes back here. The batteries are on the machine. The machine has started up. The technician used it for about half an hour. He can see that there was a fault on the machine with the fuel 7 hours ago or something like that, but it's now gone. So he's changed one of the filters. There's another inline filter that we can possibly change, but it is low on diesel. So we're now gonna diesel it up and run it for another half an hour and see if anything pops up. The sun is finally out and the rain has stopped. Unfortunately, I can't see clearly now the rain has gone. The 926 has started working. What we think happened, it was tracking up a pile of material and the diesel was low and maybe some of the gunk slushed around in the bottom of the tank and it blocked a fuel filter, and the battery was just bad luck, because looking at the battery, I think the battery's been on there for a very long time. So just a chain of incidences that just coincidentally happened all at the same time, because with the new batteries in and a full tank of diesel, the machine got up to working temperature and there were no faults on it. There's the sun. It's been another long old week, which isn't over yet. I'm in here tomorrow and we're back in on Bank Holiday Monday. Fighting the good fight. I'm Daniel, and this was Ashville Weekly, episode 203. Click here for the Ashville website. Click here to subscribe to our channel. Click down here for an Ashville video you may not have seen before, and click down here for last week's episode, which was number 202.